Welcome to Open Pakistan webinar series. This webinar series is an initiative of Open Program for Pakistan. These programs are offered by Regional English Language Office RELO at the US Embassy Islamabad. These programs provide professional development opportunities to English language teachers and learners all across Pakistan. These programs include open global online courses, massive open online courses, webinar series, and then engaging our alumni into different productive activities. Evolution is the local implementing partner in Pakistan. Under the series of 5, today we are broadcasting our webinar 5.4. The topic for the webinar is digital content based learning. The presenter for the webinar is Mariam Khan. Mariam Khan is an English language teacher, curriculum planner, and an online professional English network Open alumna. Mariam has also attended several Open MOOCs AE Live series and presented at the Open Virtual Conference 2021. She is Masters in English Literature and Education Planning and Management. She hosts a YouTube channel to discuss social issues. In today's webinar, participants will enable to understand what is digital content-based instruction, background of content-based instruction, assumption of digital content-based instruction, principles of digital content-based instruction. She will also be shared different examples of digital content-based instruction, practical application of digital and content-based instruction, essential skills of content-based instruction. Last but not the least, digital content-based instruction and assessment will be shared by the presenter. So without any delay, I would like to invite Mariam Khan for presenting the webinar.
So let's begin. The main concept is the provision of an effective medium to combine language and content with the help of digital or electronic tools. So our learners are not understanding or learning out of the context, but within it. They will be able to learn and think at the same time with the help of the target language. It is a method of instruction in which language and instruction is integrated. So we are not focusing on the language, rather through which something can be learned. The curriculum in this mode of instruction is content-based. Language will be used as a medium through which something new can be learned in the way that audio-lingual aids for communication analysis can be used, and it is based on the behavioral and constructive analysis, the teaching practices of presentation, application. Teacher uses native language to give instructions, and it focuses right from the beginning to emphasize on different various grammatical drills, translating sentences, pronunciation, or any other aspect of language. Background of CBI. So ESL teachers and ESL teaching methods can be utilized through digital content, which has become incredibly popular for last 10 to 15 years. Professionals in this field are realizing how students of any age are trained in order to incorporate the teaching materials on e-readers and tablets. This goal is to offer communication, information, and access to professional work opportunities. There are many educational events in support of choosing digital content as a career. So when we talk about content, it is the subject matter that we will learn through languages, content rather than language itself. And it's communication based because it is built on the principles of communicative language teaching strategies, and is filled with meaningful communication where information can be easily exchanged. Assumptions of digital content-based instruction. Now we will be discussing the content-based instructions that are people learn a second language more successfully when the language is used as means of acquiring knowledge, acquiring information. Language learning is more motivated when students are focusing on something practical rather than learning the language. It can be an idea, it can be your opinion, it can be any issue. So these assumptions allows us to do many things. We can express our thoughts and comments with, communicate with others, connect with others for the provision of knowledge. Language makes it a lot easier for us in facilitating our thoughts and helping to develop them as well. Language has two parts, words and notion. Thus a word, school, can be interpreted in so many ways. While we are studying it, we means it with linking words like teacher, books, assessment, rewards. That's how we can learn in a better way. In the words of Brighton, Shaw, and Wesley, it is said that content-based instruction is the concurrent study of language and subject matter with the form and sequence of language presentation, which is dictated by content material. This was said by these educationists in 1989, which deals with the assumptions of content-based instruction, implications, types of learning and teaching activities, and role of material. Thus, it is a combination of audiolingual and movie apps to help explain a concept that our students are supposed to learn. Other digital tools include word processing, slide presentations, Zoom, Google Classrooms, and Microsoft Teams. Then we can have YouTube, we can have kid blogs, we can have school trips as well. And integration of content is learn and observe by combining skills in basic education and merging it with a particular content. Principles for digital content-based instruction. It develops students to develop general mental capacities, taught students in their native language, including grammatical drills, translating sentences like we have already discussed. For importance of the use of this technology in classroom, according to the University of Illinois, digital literacy includes the ability to read and interpret media. It also deals with reproducing data and images through digital manipulation and evaluate and apply new knowledge gained from digital environment. Thus, it is not a medium to read and write only, but also to use this content-based learning effectively. According to technology, to support students at risk, it is stated that ready access to appropriate technology is used in a thoughtful way, and it can help them gain sustainable development through learning and technology readiness. So the principles for digital content will be to construct a knowledge-based learning and develop understanding about the tasks. It also uses language meaningfully, purposefully, learn about language in the context of language or learning through the native language. Now we'll be dealing with the examples. The teacher asks the students in English what a globe is. Some student calls out world, other make a circle with their arms. The teacher then reaches out, takes out a globe from the desk. She puts the globe on her desk and she says that asks students to give their own input, whatever they feel about that certain word, and the students' answers can be written on the board. Now, when students make any mistake or when there's something missing in their sentences, she may give her own input, and then she may distribute handouts with the help of a video which is on understanding globes, and in that video she may add those vocabulary geographical terms in order to tell how a globe is made, what a globe is made of, what is equator, what are the northern and the southern hemisphere, and then what is grid, what is the longitudinal direction and what is the latitudinal direction, what does parallel means. So by this way, she is not only introducing vocabulary words, but she is also trying to define the terms that are meant to be understood by the pupils. Other than that, we can have another example of a teacher teaching strategies in which she is utilizing grammar rules, or she might avoid the grammar rules as well, because emphasis will be on listening and emphasis will be on speaking. And vocabulary in this way will be taught through picture description as well as object representation. So, practical application of digital content-based instruction in classroom. All right. It seems that the most significant factor behind the success of content-based instruction is the increase in motivation that students will feel when the topic, material, or activities are provided to them, and these activities will be relevant, meaningful, interesting, and useful to them, not only while they are studying, but also when they'll recall these learnings, or which will become a base for their future learnings. So the practical information or application implications usually have advantages. We don't see any setbacks in this way, because it is interesting and motivating for the learners, as well as it is interesting for the teacher as well. She will also present her objectives in a better way. It's a real purpose. By this, a real purpose can be fulfilled, and it's a better way to make your learners confident as well as independent. But when we look on the disadvantages or the setbacks, we can say that it might not be applicable to all kinds of schools, all kinds of environments, and sometimes native language, use of native language becomes dragging for the learners, or they might not be motivated by it, or standardization learning should play an important role in this regard. Then no matter that the first language, second language can be used or can be utilized or learned in the same manner as the first language, but it may happen that it may confuse learners about the impression what they are supposed to get from their learning. Now we will discuss essential skills for digital content-based instruction. Digital content-based instruction lesson presentation is a direct method of instruction, and it is feasible for the students because teacher will verbally say something about it. Students will try to repeat whatever she says. Teacher will correct the sentence by making a little bit of amendments to make them aware of the exact usage of the word. The students will repeat the word. So she will use a method of repetition here, and the 5 parts of direct methods can be utilized. That is show, say, try, mold, and repeat. Thus, we can say that the principles of digital content-based instructions are rooted with the principles of communicative language, and it involves active participations of students in the exchange of our content. Whatever we learn, we have to find out that how much we have learned from it, learned by it. So learners are held accountable for both content and language with the help of some assessment tools. That can be rubrics, that can be a quiz, or that can be some written test. And assessment can take a variety of forms, as we have discussed, and the most valuable type of assessment tasks are those that require students to use language meaningfully and to provide or guide in consolidating the content learning while using language in a meaningful way. Project-based learning, when we talk about project-based learning, digital project-based learning, it serves as a valuable approach to assessment. A method that we used is based on the idea that the teachers should be silent as much as possible and encourage students to produce language as much as possible. Students are more likely to work with resources and responsible for their own learning, rather depending on the teacher. Then students will be able to discover rather remembering and rather repeating. Direct method is linked with it, but students will be given the opportunity to discover on different topics and different variety of discussions or develop ideas on their own. The silent way of learning is the problem solving technique, arising creativity in them or giving them the opportunity to analyze things on their own and to create things on their own. Discovering activity will be finding facts by their own selves. Then learners will become the principal or the masters rather than listeners, and this will also help them to gain more knowledge. They will be able to think on their own. They will be able to develop different kind of direct and indirect perspective. Then a formative assessment can also be made by the administrator for the understanding of students so that they can pick up their own commands and they can bring betterment in their learning. And digital content-based learning is one of the best means of modern learning, which can help students to evolve on their own. And the key concepts that we have learned today, let's recall them. That learning is more of a problem-solving activity rather than remembering and repeating. To inculcate content-based knowledge and acquiring grammatical skills, we need to focus on the content-blended knowledge to achieve learners' proficiency. For that, we usually had online as well as face-to-face activities in our classroom to judge students' understanding. And we performed an activity in which students were meant to judge or to learn new vocabulary words, new verbs with present participle ing and past participle ed. So first of all, we discussed and recalled the tenses table for present, past, and future. For present, simple present tense, we discussed and read the table as I do. Simple past, I did. Simple future, I shall do. Present continuous, I am doing. Past continuous, I was doing. And future continuous, I shall be doing. Present perfect, I have done. Past perfect, I had done. Future perfect, I shall have done. Same goes for perfect continuous tense. I have been doing, I had been doing, and I shall have been doing. So in this regard, we observe that with continuous tense, we are using present participle ing, and we are using second form of verb with past tense. Especially, I also differentiated difference between regular and irregular verbs. Students learned through this table or chart that all those verbs that can have past participle ed with them are regular verbs, and those which cannot have past participle ed but transforms its shape and it gets a new form is makes three forms of verbs, like first form of verb, second form of verb, and third form of verb. So students read this table turn-wise. After that, we recall that a sentence structure is composed of the following formula: subject plus verb plus object. S for subject plus verb plus object. Now, the subject can be a noun or a pronoun. A verb is an action word that describes an action. An object can be another thing or a noun. So students by this were asked to read the list that I shared for regular and irregular verbs, and they were supposed to perform or write a sentence or tell a sentence in the classroom, I usually ask my students to just tell what they are thinking. So it was more of a class discussion. After this, I asked my student to share a verb with uh, a present participle and a past participle form of a verb. So in this regard, we performed an activity in our classrooms. Our students were very keen to think of new words, create new words, improve their vocabulary words. For example, this is the feedback that they provided to me. They submitted uh, different words, vocabulary words, as well as verbs with past participle and present participle ing. So by this, I was able to know how much they have grasped on the use of verbs and tenses and how to create sentences as well. And after that, we also performed an activity in which we opened our literature novel, a reader, and I also asked them to underline those words, those verbs that have past participle ed as well as present participle ing with it. So happy learning and a happy teaching to all. And I think content-based instruction learning is a very easy and very effective medium for our learners to grasp the concepts of both language and content. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariam, for presenting such a wonderful webinar presentation. If you have comments, questions, and or suggestions, please write to us on eteacher@evolution.com.pk. Till then, happy teaching and learning.